Should Enter the Dragonfly be remastered? Let's talk about it. What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with another question that I have been asked so many times. I've been asked in my comment sections, my live streams, and even on my Twitter since I started YouTubing, and I finally want to address it fully. Should Enter the Dragonfly be remastered? However, before I can even get to type out my reply, I am given a single caveat. It has to include all the original content and levels pitched, including Nasty Nork, and all the bugs have to be sorted and fixed up. So, with that caveat in place, should Enter the Dragonfly be remastered? Now, I say this with every fiber of my being.
Please, no! 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 No!
I think that if Toys for Bob wanted to lose all the money that they were about to make on their Reignited trilogy, then go ahead, remaster Enter the Dragonfly. But if you want to actually live through as a business, I think they need to stay as far away from Enter the Dragonfly. Now, some of you might think I'm being a bit harsh, but this is my reasoning. Enter the Dragonfly carries an infamous name. 90% of Spyro fans shudder at the sheer name. I don't need to go in depth as to why it was such a tremendous failure, but horrid graphics, terrible controls, whatever happened to Ripto or whatever, and the fact that there were more bugs than polygons in the whole game combined. It made for a really sour and horrid experience for most players. But I get it. It has the caveat that it would all be fixed. So after it would be all fixed, Enter the Dragonfly would become a good game, right? I think it would still be terrible or mediocre at best. See, the original Spyro had such a depth of originality in their worlds and the creatures that lived in them. In a recent video with Toys for Bob talking about Idle Springs, they quickly mentioned how many types of enemies they had to redesign.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is just the amount of variety in these games is really bananas. There are idol monsters, there are hockey players, it is just those, and no other examples.
Oh, no, nothing else. Just hockey players and idols.
No,
there are capybaras driving cars and boats.
Josh, can you just list some of the things in these games?
Some of the over 400 characters.
Because it is amazing the amount of content that Josh specifically has led the art direction on. And
oh my god, but an amazing team of talented concept artists and modelers and animators. Like, I can't tell you how much effort went into bringing this world back to life.
Insomniac went to the extreme with their creativity. They created these worlds that were so different and yet creative. Meanwhile, Enter the Dragonfly's worlds were bland at best, or was almost a direct rip from a previous Spyro game. There were a few exceptions, but overall, the designs were just not there. Which, if we were to base a creative decision on the levels that we have seen, it would look like it would all just been rips from previous games and or bland settings. Another issue that is at the core of Enter the Dragonfly's issue is its Dragonfly collectible asset. The first game had dragons, the second game had orbs, the third game had dragon eggs. However, other dragonflies? This doesn't quite make sense to me, because what it does is that it takes away from the special relationship that Spyro had with Sparks. One of the things that made Spyro special was the fact that he had a dragonfly when no other dragons did it. All of a sudden, now every dragon gets a dragonfly? Suddenly, he's not so special anymore. So when someone says, well, what if they just fix the problems with the game? The issue is the whole game is a problem. When the foundation of a game is flawed, and in Enter the Dragonfly's case, extremely flawed, it resurfaces in most aspects of the game and makes the bad parts even worse, and then ruins any good that was actually made in the game. This means that the whole game would need to be rebuilt from top to bottom, and it might as well just be a whole brand new game with a brand new story. Not only that, but the sheer name of Enter the Dragonfly is nothing but poison. Don't believe me? Let's look at the sales. Overall, Enter the Dragonfly sold 2.68 million units across only 2 consoles, the PS2 and the GameCube. Now, that's an alright amount for a game, but likely word got out on how bad the game was, and it shriveled up in sales. if the game was good, I think that it may have sold even better than perhaps even Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon, which sold 3.71 million units. Most of Enter the Dragonfly sales came from the fact that it came out during the Christmas season, and OG Spyro fans assumed that it was the same bar of quality as the original trilogy. Now, let's look at the follow-up console game to Spyro, A Hero's Tale. Have your opinions about it, but A Hero's Tale was leaps and bounds better than Enter the Dragonfly. However, even across 3 consoles, A Hero's Tale only sold 1.07 million units, less than half of Enter the Dragonfly's. Why? In my honest opinion, after the failure of Enter the Dragonfly, it literally killed A Hero's Tale sales. People lost trust in the Spyro IP because it was not being handled by Insomniac. So, it led them to have to rebuild the IP from the ground up, which led to the Legend of Spyro reboot. Now, if a brand spanking new Spyro came out that was just fantastic, but was named Enter the Dragonfly, its sales would likely take such a hit simply because of its name. Enough time has passed now that people don't really associate Spyro with Enter the Dragonfly immediately, hence why this remaster is looking to be an overall success with people forgetting about Enter the Dragonfly. So you know what? Let's just keep Enter the Dragonfly buried and dead. We don't need to dig any part of it back up. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra.